What's up, CCNR fans? It has been a while. I feel like we're supposed to be off season, but we still are filming.
I don't even know.
We've lost count, but we are kind of strictly doing mini-sodes for a while.
I think we're just doing stuff as we get it.
As we get it, yes. We're going to keep it chill.
Yeah.
We want to keep the fans, we're getting a little uptight, and we wanted to keep it chill for everyone. So we are doing some mini-sodes, and we got some goodies. We're going to go a little deep on this mini-sode, because we're going to show a lot of Mandalorian Boba Fett's, because we do love the Mandalorian and we do love Boba Fett's, right?
There's a lot of them.
And Hasbro has made thousands of them.
Still can't get them right.
Still can't get them right. Although I'll give them credit, I think they got it pretty close this time. But they still can't get it.
There's already a variant.
There's already a variant. So on this episode, we're going to be talking about the Return of the Jedi Boba Fett. Boba Fett. Which I will say, I will give it to Hasbro. This is probably the definitive 3 3/4 Boba Fett. But the issue is that there's already a variant of this.
Now, where did you get this one?
So this was purchased off of Dorkside, and it became busted at the bottom.
Oh, you didn't find that at Target or Walmart?
You find a Boba Fett at Target or Walmart is like...
Well, you can buy the prototype Boba Fett now on eBay for $100.
$100.
The multicolored one?
Yeah, I mean, you can get this you can pre-order this easily online, but you're not finding this at retail. If you do, it will be like striking gold. So, and matter of fact, I did find a Baby Yoda, but the card was so destroyed, they gave me 10% off. So I bought it. But this came destroyed. And
so which one do you have right now?
So I am holding in my hands the new version.
The new version.
And the difference between this and version 1 is that on his chest plate...
So I have version 1.
Yeah, so we're going to show you the difference. On his chest plate, he's got the 2 indentions where his, little red signal should be. Right. And, of course, they couldn't paint it. They just put the indentions in the plastic. But this version here is the version 1... and this is version 2, and that's the actual only difference between the two figures. Now, there are known to be some ones with even worse quality control where people are selling them on eBay for hundreds of dollars, and there's some people actually bidding on them. I saw one that did not have Wookiee scalps, and it was selling for like $200.
Why do those? I don't understand why those would have value. Like it's a messed up figure.
Right. It's like I
have plenty of those.
Yes, we've opened them live on the show.
I mean, I have biker scouts with 2 left feet. I have a C-3PO that has a busted knee joint and then his shin is on backwards.
Right.
Like, is that considered a variant? Can I sell those for hundreds of dollars?
Because
in my mind, those are garbage. They're not worth anything.
They should be thrown away.
Right.
Right. But people are buying them.
Now, I get a true variant where, like, with this one, if it's got the indention, this one does not. That's a variant.
Right.
Because they've tooled it.
They've tooled it.
But for something where they just forget to put a foot on them, why would that be? Or like you see them selling them where they're upside down.
Right.
Like that's just a mess up.
Yeah, like one guy, his insignia on his chest was like, I mean, these got terrible paint apps anyway. And the one insignia was like half there. And he was selling it as an error figure. And for like, now it's down. He dropped it $100.
Yeah, because it's not worth it.
It's not worth it. It's not worth anything. But I will say these figures in general, and we do plan to open this to give you guys a look at this. But be prepared that the paint apps on his visor are not good.
Yeah.
And the green on his chest typically is off. So
did they have the issues with the? This is not a deluxe Boba Fett.
No.
Like the one over there I have, the Black Series.
Yes.
Were there issues with that as well? Because didn't you return that?
No, that one, the issue with the deluxe Boba Fett, so everyone can see this, is that the way they put him in the inner plastic tray, they smashed his helmet.
Let me see.
So his helmet, I mean, you can clearly see, for the fans, I mean, that is a normal Boba Fett helmet, right? So they smashed his helmet into the inner tray, and so when you take it out, it's all warped.
You got to put it in warm water.
You got to do the CCNRR special trick.
The warm water special.
And you got to put it in a Ziploc bag.
And boil it in the water.
Boil it up, and in no time, you've got a fixed Boba Fett head or helmet. All right, so I'm going to open this with this knife that looks like I need to get a tetanus shot when I'm done with this show. And we're going to see what we got going on.
That knife has opened a lot of boxes over the years.
It looks.
You forgot your knife. I don't. What do you want from me?
This thing is.
I have razor blades.
How many people did you murder with?
Don't worry about it.
So, let's get this open, and we will see what we're dealing with here. If I can Get it. Guess I didn't open it good enough. All right. I love that smell of China plastic.
Careful. You know what lab that leaked out of.
Yeah, it could have been out of the Wuhan lab. All right, so here we go. All right, so here's our Boba Fett, so you can get a close-up before we get into the articulation. And I will give Hasbro credit here. This is a fantastic looking Boba Fett. Barring, you know, the paint app issues, they did not chintz like they did.
They gave him cloth.
They gave him a cloth cape,
Wow.
which
They did not for the deluxe.
Deluxe Boba Fett.
Only the original gangster had it.
Yep. Only the original.
The original Black Series had it.
And I can guarantee CCNR fans, there are no reviews out there that show people opening up this figure yet. This is the first one out there.
First one ever?
This is the first one ever. So we are getting this hot off the press. So there's his insignia on his arm. And this figure is definitely been completely retooled from the ground up. And I mean, he looks good. He looks good.
Does he look as good as this one?
All right, so let's do a compare to the original.
This is retro.
Oh, retro.
This
that's
is retro.
true.
My originals are over there.
All right, so there is your retro Boba Fett.
It looks like they did a little better with the paint colors.
You think so?
Maybe a little bit, yeah.
I think the rocket on yours is a little bit more screen accurate.
I think it is too, yeah.
All right, so let's get into what we got here for articulation. So he's got a nice ball jointed head. And this is the new thing Hasbro's doing, where they put
the faux face underneath it.
they put the faux face chin looking on there. And I've seen some people do reviews of these where they try to rip the helmet off. No, it's
fused.
It's fused in there. And the Black Series version is like that too.
Yeah.
So you got a nice waist articulation on a ball joint there. One of the new things they did was this piece is not connected to his arm.
That's a new thing they do.
It's a new thing
for better flexibility.
Where the original was connected. He's got a nice ball joint in the shoulder, ball joint in the elbow. It can swivel all the way around. You got some good wrist articulation. You can move up and down, and it's a swivel. Both arms are the same. So one of the other things that they do with these vintage collection figures sometimes is that they make one arm have or one wrist articulation go like that, and then they have the other one go like this. But this one is actually the same, and I kind of prefer the symmetricalness of that.
Gotcha.
He's got these, these new vintage collection swivels up top.
They like those now.
Yeah, they like those.
It's the thigh switch. This is the thigh turns.
Yeah, and I don't know how I feel about these.
You don't like those?
I guess I like it better than that like weird swivel, like the vintage type figure legs. But these are kind of, I still don't feel like they're good. He's got knee joints, and then he's got a nice rocker all the way around ankle there.
So when's the last version of him they've made for the vintage?
Well, they just re-released a couple of years ago the version from like 2008 because they came out with the Slave 1.
Gotcha.
So that figure was one of those archives, but I don't want to say this was out at the same time, but it was pretty close because they had the Slave 1.
I think no, that one's. I have that prototype one, but I think I have the.
You have the prototype. So here's his cloth cape, which is definitely an improvement over the one that came out in 2008. The one that came out in mid 2000s. The one that came out mid 2000s, it was more like this one. This is a little bit more screen accurate, and you can see the peg for his rocket in the back. And this rocket does not come out; it's in there. And that's the back of the rocket. So we'll put that back in, and I'm glad. I mean, this fits very nice on his back with the rocket pack, so it fits nice and convenient. And this is the prototype version.
Came out Black Series.
Yeah, I mean, this one is, compared to this, it's terrible. So here's the prototype Boba Fett, which was consequently a vintage collection mail away.
Right, which I have.
Yeah.
It's not open.
Yeah, which is
you
this
can't see
figure.
it because it's in a mailer box.
It's in the mailer box. And then here is his gun, which is an improvement over the original. It's got a rustic brown color, painted all the way the same.
So now, was this version the same version that came out with the vintage?
No.
This was its own independent.
That was an own independent, because my version, his helmet could come off.
This one does not.
Yeah, that one has got...
It's ball.
It's a ball joint.
But now I can't tell if this is cloth or... I don't think he's got the cape, does he? I don't think he's got the cape on this one.
No?
No, he does. I just can't tell if it's vinyl or if it's... I can't tell. It's cloth. So this is the one that came out with at the end of Movie Heroes, the one that you can only get in Germany.
Which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. There's been a lot of iterations of Boba Fett over the years.
They love some Boba Fett. So
Attack of the Clones had the best Boba Fett.
which one is that?
Attack of the Clones version.
Oh, yeah, see that one. So a couple other notes for fans out there that are still on the fence with this. His sensor scope does not move. It is still stationary. That's always been a thing on the vintage collection one.
It doesn't move.
It does not move. And I will say, I almost feel like they botched it. And I'll show the fans here. So in the deluxe version, depending on what you get, you can't see it in here, but in the deluxe version, unlike this version, the original one does not move.
Correct.
And this one, in the deluxe version,
They fixed it.
but I feel like they still botched it. The reason why I say that is because it's going to be hard to tell, but the little component that holds the sensor scope in is a separate piece that they glued on.
Oh.
So depending on,
It could break off.
Yeah, and for those of you that know Hasbro's quality control,
Yeah, it could just blow right off.
yeah, you don't know what you get. So something to keep in mind when you're talking about Boba Fett's to get. Now, on this small of a scale of figure,
It's probably better that it just stays up.
right. I mean, it's still kind of big. I mean, they probably could have thinned it up.
Is it as good as this one?
I don't know, man. That one may be better than this one.
This one comes with quick action draw.
Wow.
It's the Pit of Carcoon.
Wow, and you get the thruster blasters.
He has 12 points of articulation.
How that figure looks like a brick.
It says it has 12 points, bro.
Look, he's only got one knee articulates.
Look at that. You can't get better than that. Attack of the Clones, bro. This is actually the Return of the Jedi one. See in the back of the box, it says Return of the Jedi, top right.
Wow.
See, they're trying to be fancy with it.
Fancy smanchy.
A lot of Boba Fett's made over the years. Look at this. I think that sensor scope actually goes down, bro.
Really?
No.
I don't. Man, this Boba Fett. So I would say, like, if you're getting the Slave One, which they've now re-released
again.
The third time because of this Boba Fett. I mean, this is the Boba Fett you're going to want to get.
That's
I mean,
the one.
if you're getting a Boba Fett, if you're on the fence about a Boba Fett, this is the time to pick one up. I don't think you're going to get much better than this, but who knows? The other thing is, if you do get the Slave One, I've seen that in the Slave One, you could actually put his rocket pack in the ship. Like, you could take it off and then.
Does this come off?
Yes. But
it's a good looking figure.
Yeah.
It's a good looking figure.
The deal is, though, is that the peg on the back of that figure is different from the other version, and so it will not fit in the Slave One. And let's see if we can get this Boba Fett to stand. There we go. Not bad. So comparing him to the Mando, we just wanted to show you a nice comparison here. So for those of you who are Mandalorian fans in general, here is Mr. Boba Fett compared to the Mandalorian. Now, it is pretty much a foregone conclusion that we will get another Boba Fett.
You're going to get old Boba Fett.
We are going to get, yes.
Fat Boba Fett.
We're going to get a little overweight Boba Fett.
Which I'm okay with. I like his new outfit.
Yeah.
With the freaking skirt.
Yes, and we'll probably get the version where he's all busted up.
Yes,
and
then the clean version.
The clean version.
I want to get the Cobb Vance version.
We may not get that.
I'd rather have that.
You like that?
I like that version of him.
The other thing you mentioned about this Boba Fett is that I do like what they did here is his little wires.
Yeah.
They connect to the forearm, and they gave it enough slack there to allow you to still pose him without hampering that.
It's not a bad looking figure, dude.
Not a bad figure. Pretty cool figure to.
Maybe he can keep Maybe he can keep Baby Yoda safe.
Yes.
Now that Mandalorian gave him up.
Yeah, so here, let's talk about little Baby Yoda. So this Boba Fett looks like it may have a little challenge standing. So we've always joked about this Baby Yoda. So I went to Target, and I couldn't believe it, had a Baby Yoda vintage collection, and the card was busted. So probably someone returned it. They bought it and returned it. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna see if I can get that and open it. So here is the vintage collection Baby Yoda. You don't even think about it.
What?
I know what you're about to do. Can you get that?
Now, is that the same one?
No.
It's not.
It's got.
They have made more versions of Baby Yoda.
Yeah. So
over the last year.
Yep,
what was that?
There he is. It's Mr. Boba Fett.
So that is not the same one.
That is not the same one. So the difference in these two Baby Yodas is the head sculpt is slightly different than the other one. Now the body and the arms are basically the same, but the head. Can you get that?
I mean, dude, they've made a ton of Baby Yodas.
So this little baby doll has got a little bit of head articulation. He's on a ball joint, and he's got his little paws, but his hand like
the Black Series, blow right out.
Yeah, do you have an open one?
I do have an open one,
and we can compare the size. But this thing has got little arm articulation. He's got no wrist and no feet like the Black Series one, but he suffers the same issues as the Black Series where these little arms just pop right out. And he comes with his little bassinet here. What do we call these things in The Mandalorian? I can't think of the name of it. What was this thing called? I can't remember the name. What's the name of that thing? Does it say it on there?
That's what I'm looking. It just says the child.
Okay, I can't remember I'll remember it here in a little bit. But it comes with his little bassinet and comes with a cap. This cap does fit in here, although it takes a little bit of finagling, but it will fit in so you can have it completely enclosed. This does come off the little stand.
It's a little egglet.
It's a little egglet. What is going to drive me nuts? We have the fans to let me know.
Yeah, let the fans. I'm not looking it up.
I remember the name of it. This comes off as well.
Wow.
Get a little paint app in there. No paint app in here, although it does show scuff marks. And then here's the inside of his little bassinet, his little hovercraft.
Those things, they do not appear to be scale to me.
So there's your Black Series Baby Doll Yoda, or Grogu, to a retro Yoda. Now, where is his little frog?
God bless. Really?
Let's see if these frogs are the same. So you also, the last thing you get, which is definitely not to scale, is the little baby frog that he eats in the show, and that thing is small. So it looks like they're a family. Look,
yeah,
it's daddy, older brother, and baby brother. Let's see here. I'm gonna whap that thing right out of your hand.
Everything fell out already.
So let's get a compare the. Now that frog is bigger, dude. There's your Black Series frog.
The fact that they've made multiple versions of this stupid
that?
frog is ridiculous.
Now it looks like your Black Series
I got paint
frog.
apps.
I got some too, but not as dark.
Yeah, I got better paint apps.
But it is a different frog.
It's a different frog, and I believe the retro Baby Yoda has a different frog as well.
I think you're right.
Multiple frogs.
There you go. There's the different size comparisons, and then here's a 3 3/4 figure. If I can get this Boba Fett to stand, which is not going to happen. So there's your 3 3/4 Boba Fett compared to a Black Series Boba Fett, so you can see the size.
Yeah, it doesn't really feel to scale to me.
Is that the Baby Yodas?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Like they're way off.
I think I agree with you. I think the Baby Yoda is
the one
too
on
small.
the one on the vintage should be way smaller.
You think so?
Yes, they failed miserably.
Oh, I can't get this thing to stand up. But there you go. So that is your Baby Yoda. Now I will say for this Baby Yoda here, the way that they did his little blanket, it's supposed to fit with his little. I don't know, muumuu. What would you call that? His little outfit, a muumuu. It's what my mom wears when she goes to sleep, like a giant muumuu.
Does she have a Gandalf stick?
She does. So the way that the back fits in there, it's supposed to like cradle little baby Yoda.
Wow, that's a lot of detail.
There is, and there's no pegging in this. He does have a little peg on the bottom of his foot, but they do not put a peg in his little hovercraft here for baby Yoda, or Grogu. Grogu. He likes to be called Grogu now. So there you go, fans. Another great mini-sode over and done with. So tell us what you think. I can't remember the stupid name of this hovercraft.
Don't worry about it.
It's going to bug you now.
It's a cradle.
It's a cradle. Cradle for the little baby. All right, fans. Until next time. See ya.